Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Collection Mania Monday and today we have the Zenacolor 120 colored pencils. And I've had this set for quite some time. I don't use it as often now as I used to because yeah, I've got other sets. So this is actually the last set in the colored pencil collection. So we have come to the end of our color pencil collection for Collection Mania Monday. So this will be the last set for the colored pencils, and then on next Collection Mania Monday, we will be looking at markers. So stay tuned for that. I don't have as many markers, I promise. I don't have up to Z in markers. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the Zenacolor pencils. So I'm going to take out a dark color here so you can see. They have the Zenacolor 2, the Peacock Blue, and then the color number. These are in color number order in my set. Of course, you can recolor or reorder them so that they're in color family. I find it easier just to have them in color number order, and that way I don't have to pay too much attention. I just have to make sure that I have them in color order when I put them back in the case. I'm lazy. I could go through all of these and put them in color family and color order, but as long as I'm able to say, okay, this is number 27, where's number 28, I'm able to get them into the case, and that's all good. As long as I have my swatch chart, I'm able to locate the pencils quite easily in my cases. So this case is a binder case. I don't like these cases very much. They come with the two binders with the availability to add more. However, when I bought what I thought was a binder holder for this case, it didn't fit. The holes are too far apart. So I had to actually, create my own holes in it. This set is my U-Buy set, and I haven't included it in the Collection Mania Monday. I might do it for next Collection Mania Monday because I don't have a swatch for these. The U-Buy is a very inexpensive brand, and I will do up a swatch and maybe we'll do one more pencil for the U-Buy. But I had a swatch for them and I can't find it. I have no idea where it is because that was the ones that I was going to do today. But like I said, I can't find my swatch chart anywhere. So we will do the Zenacolor today and the U-Buy on the next Monday, and I will have them fully swatched by then. We're out of order, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here so that you can get a better look at the pencils. And like I said, they're a really good color selection. Like we have our Zenacolor 2, strong red, and then the number 74. So and this one here is a duplicate. So I ended up getting two strong reds and I'm missing deep red, I do believe. Yeah, I'm missing deep red. I have dark red, but I'm missing deep red. So yeah, that was another one of my bones of contention, but they do have a really good selection of red in this set, so it didn't make a lot of difference. So let's take a look at the swatch chart. And I'm gonna, okay, so the swatch chart's a little choppy because I haven't done it in a long time. This swatch chart was done, about 4 years ago. So the color has faded a little bit on the swatches. I don't have the box for my Zenacolors, and they have changed them in recent years. So mine aren't the same as ones you would buy nowadays. Nowadays they have up to 160 um, instead of just the 120 set. So, and the 160, let's take a look. Oh, uh, so they have several different ones available. They have a 72 count that comes in its own case. They have a, let's go to the Zena store here. So they have a 160, a 120, a 72, 72 in the case. Um, the 160, they have it in different sets as well with different books and whatnot. They also have some watercolor pencils, which they didn't have available when I first started using Zenacolor. Their product availability and the amount of products that they have now compared to when I first started coloring with them um, is tenfold. They have so much more product now than they used to. And the 120 set that they have online here, um, the color range looks about the same. And it starts off the same way with the white, silver, and gold and the metallic purple. So, or the rose gold, whatever you want to call it. So there, it looks like it's pretty close to the same lineup. There's a couple of differences there, but not a whole lot. And like I said, they have a fantastic color range. So, and I've been coloring with them for quite some time. I do know that they have gone up a lot, a lot in price since I bought mine. When I bought them, they were something like $9.99 or something like that. Let's see. I don't want to do that. If you haven't noticed on the deals of the day today, um, coloring books are on sale, 3 for the price of 2. So definitely take a look at what is available in those 3 for the price of 2 because yeah, they're a great price. I have 3 in my shopping cart at the moment. Let's see, how much did I pay for the Zenacolor? It might have been $19.99. 18.51 is how much I paid for the Zenacolor, so I must have had a coupon. Yes, I had a 97-cent coupon. So the actual price of them was $19.48 when I bought mine in 2019. So they've gone up double since I bought my pencils. Actually, almost triple. It's been a while. But I will, of course, make sure that I link the pencils. So those ones are only $29.99. So yeah, they've gone up by $10. So that's not too bad. And if you buy 3 different Zena products, you can save 10%. So that's kind of cool too. All right, so the 120 set is still quite reasonable. It's below $30, but still quite a bit more than I paid for them a few years ago. All right, so I'm going to fix the lighting here so that you guys can actually see the swatch chart. I don't know why it does this because I check all my cameras before I start, and it does it to me live as well, so I should just assume it's going to do it. But for some reason, it does not like to stay bright enough. I don't know why. All right. Okay, so we have, of course, starting at number one, white, and then we have our silver, gold, rose gold, and then we go into our grays. This is the one area that I find that this 120 set is extremely lacking, is the gray area. And then we go into the blue areas, and it has a really good selection of blues, and including a sapphire blue, which is a really dark green blue. And then we go into our greens. This malachite blue, green is really nice. I like that green. And then we go into some more greens and our aquatic colors, like our aqua blue, our sea green, emerald, turquoise, dark sea green, that sort of thing. The pale green is a fantastic green-gray color, which is wonderful to have as well. Then, of course, we have our apple green, green, yellow, lime green, and then we go into our pale tones for our cream colors and our yellows. So we have white, wheat, cream, mimosa, light khaki, champagne, moon yellow, and then we get into our brighter yellows like canary yellow, yellow, marigold, um, golden yellow, or golden red, amber, tropical orange, and then we get into our deeper oranges. We have tangerine, orange red, and then regular orange. And as you can see, I have tested these for water contact, so it does run. So make sure that if you're going to use a wet media over top of it, you don't agitate it or put too much water on it. And then we have the deeper oranges into the reds. So we have sun orange, scarlet, salmon, coral, tomato. Like I said, this is a really good selection of red. Vermilion, fuchsia, light coral, cherry, rose, and I'm missing the red. So dark red, sienna, strong red, carmine. And then we start into our skin tones, our lighter skin tone colors like peach puff, apricot, light salmon, honey orange, sand brown. And then we go into our pink tones, and it has a really good selection of light pinks as well as dark pinks. So we have our pink, our light pink, and our baby pink, and then we start getting into some of the brighter pinks like flamingo pink, coral pink, pearl pink, hot pink, and then we move into our purple pinks like magenta, rose pink, spinel red, and then we go into our purples with the mallow. It has a good selection of the darker purples, but it has a very, very low selection of the lighter purples, which bugs me a little bit. um, but we have our mallow, which is a nice red violet, as well as our purple, our opera mauve, heliotrope, Crillian blue, and then we go back into our dark blues like Crillian blue, dark mineral blue, cornflower violet, medium purple is the light purple, mineral blue, and then indigo. And this is where the very first time I ever saw indigo as a purple instead of a dark blue. And it bugged me then, and it still bugs me now. And then we go into our browns. We've got our khaki, jasmine, chrome yellow, which I think personally would put in the yellows, uh, camel, Peru, bronze, and then burgundy. I don't mind the burgundy being in the browns. However, this set, for some reason, this final part of it here, They have all different ones mixed in, like Old Rose, Cardinal Red. Those should be in the red and the pinks. Medium Orchid should be up here in the purples. Medium Violet Red should be in the purples. Maroon should, maroon it can stay in between the red and the purple. And then we have a saddle brown and then a dark magenta. So their color families did really good up to 108. And then it sort of started falling apart and mixing things in where they didn't belong. So I think they got to a certain point in their colors and then went, okay, so we're at 109, so we need to add 11 more. So let's find 11 more colors and put them in on the end. And that kind of bugs me a little bit. So those ones there I think should be somewhere else. Then we have our saddle brown and our dark magenta should be somewhere else. And then we go into our chocolate, our dark our dark chocolate brown, coffee, and sepia. And those should be in those dark brown colors. The olive green, I can understand why it's in the brown area because it is kind of a brown green color. So that I don't mind either. Same with the jasmine. I can see why that's in the browns. And we finish off with that olive green. So that's a little bit of an odd end to the colors. The colors are very, very nice. They're very vibrant and they blend quite nicely. The swatches that I did, like I said, are about 2019. So about 2.5 years old, going on 3 years old. So I haven't re-swatched them, and I will be re-swatching them at some point while we're doing them as a feature pencil for the week, just so I can put them on my own swatch sheet. And if these ones really bug me a lot, I may end up mixing them into the other areas where they belong. Maybe. We'll see. I have a thing about color numbers. I have a thing about putting things in numeric order and alphabetical order and that sort of thing. It really bugs me when things aren't in those orders. So we will see if I can break that habit and not have it bug me. But we will find out later on after I've played with them for a little bit and see how bad it bugs me. So, of course, today we have our 100 Hugs by Chris Riddell. And today's hug that was yesterday's hug. I know I did that very late in the evening last night, but I had company and I got to hang out with Alex, one of my supporters, and had a bit of fun playing with different pencils. So she came over and played with some pencils. Alright, so I'm going to pin this open and we're going to be coloring the princess and the frog. So that should be fun. And of course I've got my page behind it so that it won't bleed through or go on to the other areas. I'm going to move my pencils around here so I can open up my pencil case. Oy, there we go. That's another thing I don't like about this case is it's so large. Alright, so let's start up here on her crown. And we're going to start with using the gold pencil. And I do need to sharpen it. What do I do with my sharpeners? Oh, I bet you they're over there. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to try to sharpen this with a hand sharpener. Hand sharpeners and me do not get along. Alright. So they did sharpen quite nicely. I've got a nice point. They are a little bit off center. So as you can see there, it's not quite centered. But like I said, when I first bought them, it was at the start of my coloring journey and that didn't bug me a whole lot. I was more concerned with, how much color I could get on the page at that point. And I'm still concerned with how much color I can get on the page. If I'm not going to, be able to color with them, then there's no point having them. And that's usually when I end up sending them back, is when I can't color with them anymore, or when I can't color with them to start with. So if I have something that is overly waxy or under pigmented, I will send them back. That's usually when I end up sending things back, is when that happens. So you are not able to see that at all. So you guys might have to be in the dark. So let's see here. I might have the brightness up too high for you to actually see what I'm doing, because it's a medium gold color and it should be showing, but it's not. But that's fine. I'll show you on the other camera. One of these days I'm going to have to get a new camera that actually, does everything, instead of having two different cameras trying to do the two different jobs and messing up both of them. So I'm going to use the metallic rose gold, maybe, if I don't completely break the pencil, for the just using it for the edges here a little bit. And then we're going to take a little bit of, I think it's this one. Yeah, a little bit of saddle brown. And we're just going to put it in some of those shadow areas, just to antique up the gold a little bit. Because this is not a bright yellow gold, it's more of a antique gold. So it needs a little bit of that reddy brown color just to make it stand out a little bit. Like so. Alright, and then we're going to do her hair. Yes, we're working our way down, which is a little bit different, but we'll work with it. So we're going to use chrome yellow to start with, because we're going to do her blonde. Very carefully sharpening, because I'm using my hand sharpener and it's not the normal sharpener I would use. Just getting the blanket coloring done for her hair. And we'll add some browns to that, as well as some deeper yellow tan colors. If we have enough room. That's the thing about having such a small space to work in. Sometimes there's not enough room to do the bright colors and multiple colors. So I didn't use a heavy hand. I'm just putting a very, very light layer down And then I'll come in with the um, bronze, which is a bit of a reddish yellow brown. And then I think I will probably come in with a little bit of khaki. So we're going to start back here. Just putting in a little bit of that color. And we'll blend it out if it's too red or whatnot with the yellow bronze color that we just used. We'll be going over it with the lightest color just to darken that up as well, so I'm not too concerned on how dark it's going to look at this point, or how red it's going to look. Alright, now we're going to take the khaki brown, which should be this one. Nope, that's camel. Is it this one? Yeah. It's a medium brown color. It's not quite a dark brown. Make sure that I haven't. And I'm just getting into those deeper areas. Where those shadows are. Alright, and then around the crown as well. And then we're going to take our lighter color, and I think I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. There, that's better. Now you can actually see what I'm doing. So this is just chrome yellow. It's the lightest color that we started out with, and I'm just using it to blend in all of that darker color and to highlight and brighten those highlights a bit. Give us that blonde hair look. Okay. And then we're going to work on her skin tone. So we're going to start off with this one here, which is medium purple if I don't drop it. Yeah, I think that's the one I want. Just debating at this point, but yeah, I think so. And I am sharpening each one because I haven't colored with them in a while. There doesn't seem to be any wax bloom or anything on the pencils themselves. These are an oil-based pencil, but just to be on the safe side, I'll just run it through the little hand sharpener and make sure that I'm not going to be trying to color with something that's not going to color because there's a wax buildup on it. So I'm just doing the shadow area. With this purple. Shadow of her hair, the shadow of her eyelids and her nose and under her lip into her cheek, like so. And then we're going to take our I think I want this one. Let me check. I want this one. Yeah. So I'm going to take apricot. Give it a sharpen. And we're just going to extend that shadow in. Now I know her face is really small, so getting the three-tone blend on such a small space can be difficult. So if you find doing that sort of thing very difficult, then just go with a two-color blend and just start off with your deeper skin tone and then go to your lighter skin tone on top of it. Alright, and then we're going to use Peach Puff. Once again, I'm going to sharpen. Trying not to over sharpen it and not break it all at the same time. And just blending that all together. Making sure I get her ears. And there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing for her hands. We're going to start off with the purple in the deepest part of her shadow area on her hand. Same with this hand. And then we're going to grab our apricot. And we're just going to extend out from those shadows. take Peach Puff and finish it off. So I cannot guarantee that the new Xena or the Xena 160 set or the Xena 120 set that is on the market now has the same color names and numbers. From what I saw on the webs on the Amazon site, they do have the same numbers and names. However, I can't guarantee that. I don't have a new set, and until these ones are used up, I really don't see myself buying a new set anytime soon. So, but I do like them. They used to be one of my go-tos for coloring, especially in coloring books, because they worked really, really well in coloring books. So I'm going to use strong red on her lips. There we go. And then for her dress, I think we're going to use some blues on her dress. So we're going to start with some dark blues. So we're going to start with, what's this one? Mineral blue, which is a nice dark blue, I think. Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty deep blue. And make sure I get a nice long point. And I'm just going in and putting in those shadows. The reason why I'm doing that first, unlike some things like when you're coloring on a larger scale and better paper, this way I know that the darks are down, and if I need to create a medium tone because of the lack of ability of the paper, I can do that with adding extra light color to it. So I'm leaving open those white areas and just doing up the dark areas and lifting my pencil a little bit for those medium areas. And if I need that lighter, I can definitely lighten that with the lightest color. And this way I don't run out of tooth on the paper for what I'm doing. Alright, hopefully I'm still in screen there for you. I've got to turn the book a little bit so that you can still see what I'm doing. So as you can see, these pencils are very vibrant. They lay down color very, very easily. They're not scratchy. They, like I said, they are one of my starter pencils. Something that I started with, well, almost 3 years ago now. And I still enjoy them. They're still a very comfortable pencil for me to use. Just make sure that you leave your white areas open for your lighter color. If you are going to go into those areas with a light to medium hand, just lighten up your touch on the pencil, so that way you can use that one pencil for a medium tone and then blend it out with another pencil to lighten it if it's too dark. I'm just going in and putting the shadow under her arm here and in the crease of her dress that he's pulling on. Oh, I do apologize. That is, oh, one moment. It'll have to go to the voicemail. I do apologize. It can go to voicemail. It's my son's doctor's office, just reminding me that we have an appointment tomorrow. Reminding me we have an appointment tomorrow. Alright. So once again, putting in that dark color for the shadows. Making sure I don't color the frog the wrong color. So this is the Frog and Princess hug. So we've got the frog there. We've got a frog there. And of course the princess. And she doesn't look too pleased with his hug, but I'm just going through, putting in all those creases, dark areas of her gown here. Just lightly taking that darker color and moving it up with a medium touch so that it stays fairly dark there. And as I get into these really dark areas here, just putting a bit more pressure on the hand. Like I said, these pencils are quite nice for layering and blending. They do take a little bit of pressure. Not that they take a lot of pressure to make them color, but they do if you put a little bit of pressure on it. The point does not shatter off. That's what I'm trying to say. They're physically capable of taking that pressure that we're putting on it, if that makes more sense. Just making sure I get all those shadow areas. Nice and dark. All those folds. And I'm not going down past that band there because that's a different part of the dress. It's going to be a different color, so yes, I am avoiding it on purpose. Alright, I think need a little bit more up here, and then this part here, because that's a different part as well. Alright, now we are going to use a light blue, so we're going to use powder blue, and we're going to fill that in with the powder blue. And we're just covering up those highlights with that powder blue area. Any area that we want to tone down or blend in, just go over it with your lightest color and it'll blend quite nicely. This is a really nice powdery blue too. Like I said, the colors in this set are really, really nice. They are a little bit of a drier pencil. They're not creamy, but they do lay down the pigment quite nicely. So for example, the Prismas are really creamy, and these are more like, well, basically an oil-based pencil. They're more like the Lyras or the Derwent type of feel. And I'm just blanket coloring this right over top of that dark blue. The areas that I did with a light hand will lighten and blend in to the light blue. And that's what I wanted. And the darker areas, of course, will blend into the medium areas, and so on and so on. And create that color graduation on the dress from the light areas to the dark. Okay, so that's the skirt done. Now we're going to move up here to her sleeves. This is a little bit less of a blanket color because it's such a small area, but it is basically all one color that we're going to use. Like so. The reason why I enjoy doing it this way, especially in this little book, is because A, the paper is not meant to be colored, and B, because of the fact that the pictures are so small, getting multiple layers in to do that variation is difficult. So doing it with one or two colors, just using the pressure for coloring helps a lot more. So if I want this area here to be darker, I'm going to push a little bit harder on the pencil. Same with down there. And then because I want that area there to be lighter, I'm just going to lift up the pressure off of my pencil. And same with up in here. So, almost finished with the princess here. So once again, I'm going to sharpen this up because it's getting a little dull. So in areas that we want to be darker, just put a little bit more pressure. If you do find that it's not quite dark enough for you, take your darkest pencil and go over some areas. That way it darkens up. But because the light color is there, it's not going to be as dark as the original color that you first laid down. Okay, so for example, this area here I want a little darker. But because the light color is there, it's not going to get as dark as the original color. The original time that we put this color down. Same with down here, I want this a little darker. And I'm just flicking in the direction that the clothing is moving, following the lines that the artist has given us. Oh, and of course I'm off camera. Sorry guys. And then I'm just taking the side of the pencil and blanketing it in. Like I said, this paper is not meant to be gone over a lot of times, so you may end up lifting up your paper if you do it too many times. So be careful of that. Alright, I think we're about done with the light blue here. And we'll move into the color for the bottom of the skirt and the other embellishments. So we're going to take this one here first. No, it's going to be our second. So we're going to take champagne yellow first. And we're going to do the shadowy areas. Like so. I'm not worried about the little embellishments that are there because I'm just going to color over them. They're too small to really make it look like it's supposed to look. So I'm just going to color over them all except for this band. I'm going to run the pencil down it because it's easy enough to follow like that. But the rest of these little embellishments I'm going to just ignore. Because it is very difficult to follow those little tiny details. Alright, now we're going to take our moon yellow and we're just going to fill it in. moon yellow is a nice pale yellow, but it has just a slight touch of green to it. So it stands out really nicely. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing here on her wrists. And then with the moon yellow, fill it in. And same with down here on her. Panel on her dress. See if I can get this in here. And then we're going to do this part. And this part. And there we have it for her dress. Now for the frog. We are going to use the first one we're going to use is a little bit of olive green. I know it's a brownie color, but that's okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe some, let's try this moss color here. Pale green. Where's pale green? Yeah, actually, let's use the pale green. That's a good color. It's a good color to start with for our little froggy friend. Oh, and there I went and broke the tip. And I think it's stuck in my sharpener. Okay, 1 second, guys. I gotta grab the other sharpener. There we go. And try not to knock everything off my thing in the process. Alright. So I used my doll. Because when all else fails, use the doll. I'm just putting in little bits of this pale green. Just very lightly. And I'll come back through and I'll brighten up the different areas that I want that to be brighter. Because he's a toad. And sometimes they're dark and mucky looking, and sometimes they're brown, and sometimes they're bright green. It all depends. So we're going to start off with this pale tone. And then we're going to grab this one here, which is apple green. Once again, give it a bit of a sharpen. I think I'm going to go with a majority green on this guy. And a little bit of brown. Maybe. Or not brown, but olive green color. He's looking very froggy. So next week will be the very last set of colored pencils. And during the week I'll go through and I'll swatch the U-Buy so that we can take a look at them next week. The great thing about the next set of pencils is that they are a organization that when you buy a set of pencils or any sort of art supplies, they furnish the less fortunate with a new set as well. So during the time that you're buying yourself something, you're also buying something for somebody that can't afford it. So, especially with school supplies and stuff like that. Use a bit of foliage green here just to brighten that green up a little bit. In those dark areas. And I'm hoping the paper will take the amount of um, colors I'm going to be adding to this poor frog. Alright, so we've got our greens down. Now we're going to add a bit of brown. Now this is dark olive green. So it's got a bit of green in it, but it's also got just a touch of brown in it as well, which gives us that contrast. So I'm not putting it everywhere, I'm just putting it in certain little areas. Like so. And down his little fingertips. Alright, and there we have our little froggy. And then for the ground here, it looks like it's dirt with pebbles. So we're going to grab this one here, I think. Yeah, coffee, which is a nice dark brown. I'm going to sharpen it up. And we're going to put in some coffee. Because if she's where the froggy is, or the froggy lives, which by the look at the ground, that is where they are, it's going to be muddy. So I'm just putting that dark brown dirt look. Alright, and then we're going to add some gray to that. So we want, let's see here, I think we want some dark gray. For the rocks, and then a little bit of light gray for the dirt. Maybe even a little bit of olive or something. Yeah, I'll use a bit of the olive brown for the dirt. Dark olive green. use some of this dark gray in the shadow under the skirt. Just to make sure we get all those shadows looking as dark as possible. And then we're going to take the olive, where are you? Dark olive green. Like I said, this has a bit of a brown tone to it as well. So it works out quite nice. And there we have our ground. Alright, I'm going to switch you on over to the main camera so we can take a look at our finished product here. And there we have it. There we have our princess and the frog. And it's a wonderful, wonderful froggy hug. I love froggies. I'm constantly trying to keep them from the yard. Every once in a while we get little tree frogs that hang out at the hot tub because it's nice and warm there, especially in the winter. And I keep on trying to keep them. Bob won't let me. Don't mean me, I'm just moving things around trying to find my pen. Okay, so it is November. And it is the 8th, 2021. And this is hug number 81. And there we have it. A wonderful, wonderful hug between a princess and her frog. And of course, like I said, that is hug number 81. Tomorrow is the tortoise and the hare, and that is hug number 82. I, of course, will take a picture of it and post it to Instagram as well. So that is done with the Zenacolor colored pencils, the Zenacolor 2. These are highly pigmented. They are a little bit drier than creamier pencil. They are in between a castle art and a let's see what's above castle art. They're not as creamy as the Color, but they're not as dry and waxy as the castle art. So I haven't used them in quite some time because, like I said, bigger and better things come along and you end up not using your older sets. Like I said, this is one of the first sets I ever bought, and they were under $20 for 120 pencils, so that was a pretty good deal at the time. But yeah, wonderful pencils. They work very, very well. They will be our featured pencil of the week, so pretty much everything that's going to be colored this week, that started this week, that's newly colored, will be colored with that. Any pictures that I have going with the woodless color pencils, I will be continuing with those, except for the one that we're going to do tomorrow because I finished the area that I was using those in, and the next areas aren't attached, so I'm not too concerned about the oil pencils with the wax pencils rubbing against each other there. So I'm just trying to find tomorrow's picture. Of course, I showed it off yesterday and put it somewhere. Now I can't find it. Figures, right? Alex will know where it is. Ah, there it is. So that is the hug for tomorrow. And also for Tips and Tricks Tuesday, we're going to work on the champagne bottle. tomorrow as well. And like I said, I finished the part that I was using those woodless color pencils in, so I'm not concerned about coloring over the waxy pencil with an oil-based pencil because I'm not going to be covering anything on the turkey itself. And that is going to be tomorrow's project. All right, guys, other than that, I want to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this Collection Mania Monday. And for all of you out there with the Zenacolor colored pencils, join me this week, especially on Work in Progress Wednesday and on Saturday, because we will be using the Zenacolor colored pencils. This Wednesday, actually, I won't be using the Zenas. This coming Wednesday, which is the 10th, we will have a special guest. We will have Delane from Color Pocket visiting with us again and talking to us about her wonderful Christmas combination packages that are out for Christmas. They're not having a Cyber Monday or Black Friday sale. What they're going to be doing is they've already started the sale and they've already released everything because of shipping problems. So if you have a Color Pocket, want a Color Pocket, want to know more about Color Pocket, go to colorpocket.com and take a look at what they have on sale. Take a look at all the new things that are out. And yeah, support a local U.S. company that is a small business. So hopefully you will be able to, find something in there that is worth your while. Zenacolor is also a U.S. based company, and they are also a small company. So I do believe their pencils are made in China, though. All right, guys, with that, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscriber button. The best way to support the channel, of course, is to hit that like button. And most important of all is to remember to relax, color, and stay safe. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Until next time, bye bye.